Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Thank you for watching. Welcome, Keene. My name is Aggie Cersosimo. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Welcome to our little Chinatown today, because we're going to talk about Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, also called the Spring Festival or Lunar New Year, and it's the most important holiday in China and Chinese community around the whole world. The 2-week celebration includes family and friends, feasting and fireworks, parties and parade. And I'm very happy to talk about it today. And I have a really special guest from China, originally from China, Lifei Osborne, and she's going to talk about Chinese traditions and Chinese celebrations, and I'm very excited to talk about it because it's a really fun holiday, and it's very happy also, right?
Yes.
Thank you for coming to my studio. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. So let me introduce myself
Yes,
a little
absolutely.
bit. So I was born in China, in a very small village, in my mother's town village, close to the Tibet province. And then I grew up in a very beautiful city called Xichang. And the special thing about that city is the majority population is actually ethnic people. They're called Yi people. So I feel very lucky to surrounded by not just the what we call the majority people of China, but also the ethnic people of China. And it's in the southern province. It's called Sichuan province. Yeah.
Wonderful. How long have you been here to the United States for?
I moved here 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yes.
And what do you like about being here?
I love being here with my family because I moved here to start a family with my husband. He is from here, United States. And I love meeting different people here, and I also very passionate about Montessori education. So now I'm teaching in Hilltop Montessori School in Brattleboro.
Right, you're a director.
I'm the leading teacher this year, yes.
That's wonderful. Please tell me, what is the significance of Chinese New Year, and what does Chinese New Year celebrate?
So as you have said, Chinese New Year is the biggest holiday for all the Chinese people around the world. And the Chinese New Year is actually follow what we call New Me solar calendar. So it's the celebration of the first day of the spring. So newly, which means the lunar calendar, which is following the moon phases. And solar calendar is, we talk about the sun and the earth, so it depends on the position of the sun and earth. So that's why every year when you look at the Chinese Lunar New Year, it's always starting a different day. And Chinese New Year, to put it in a simple way, it's kind of like a combination of Christmas and Thanksgiving for people
here. It really
here.
is like Christmas for
yes,
you?
And Thanksgiving, right? So it's about time a family gets together, and it's about, historically, it's about celebrating the first day of spring, because it's actually called a Spring Festival in Chinese, 春节. But it's also about a family reunion and wish everybody good luck for the next year, and visiting family and friends, and also worship your ancestors.
I want to ask you, what is the story behind Chinese New Year? Like, what is it?
It's actually, I think every child had heard this story since they were young, and it was not a very happy story as you thought. So the story, the mythology behind it is Nian was a monster. And this monster came out every year in the last day of the year, and this monster would destroy the houses in the village, would eat people. So the empire sent a very brave godless, say, could you please go help the human beings there? So this hero, he brought red ribbons, and he made like firecrackers, but they did not call it firecrackers. He made something would make this big noise with bamboo, And he asked people to write something special on red paper and place on the door. And then since then, no one would ever come back and hurt people. So that's why in Chinese, we actually say 过年. That means pass the monster.
Well, that's a very nice story.
Yeah, so it was not a happy story to start with, but yeah,
Right.
the spirit of the New Year is happy.
It's funny, like how every holiday has something beautiful and interesting that like something behind it to celebrate, right? It's always very interesting because it's actually very fascinating. So this year is the year of the dragon. 2024 is the year of the dragon. What does it symbolize?
So dragon, when you talk about Chinese dragon, it's very different than Western dragon or European dragon. In the Western European history, when they talk about dragon are evil, dragon are dark. When you talk about Chinese dragon, they represent healthy, they represent kindness, and they represent royalty and magic power and prosperity. And to help you understand that better is if you have ever heard about the story of the 12 animals of Chinese New Year, the zodiac signs. So the reason that the story about why those 12 animals were chosen because the emperor, the Jet emperor, was trying to help people to remember their age. As times go by, people forgot their age, forgot how to measure time. So the emperor said, okay, we're going to have a race. So they made an announcement to all the animals and creatures on Earth, say, we're going to have a race, and the first 12 animals will be chosen to represent each year. So it's every 12 years.
It's a different animal.
Yes.
So is dragon a special animal?
Yes. So dragon is always a symbol of power of control the rainfall, control the flood, and control, because of the rain, as you know, China is a big agriculture civilization, so we depend on the rainfall. And dragon is connected to the god that has the power to control the rainfall. So that's why people worship dragon a lot. And people would think, oh, of course dragon would be the one that on the top of the animal list. But the story was, the dragon was the fifth. And when Emperor Jet asked, how could you be so late? The first one was rat. And the dragon said, oh, I was on my way, but I saw there was a village. People were suffering from the drought. There was nothing grow from their land. It's too dry. So I just dropped some rains and make sure everyone was okay. So I was late. So that is the story about dragon, powerful but kind.
Very nice.
Yeah. And can I say another thing about the Chinese dragon is if you look into the pictures or the drawing about the dragons, you could notice that Chinese dragon has no wings. And the Western European dragon has wings.
Dragon in Poland is very big, and it's a dark dragon, and it has a huge wings.
Yeah, so Chinese dragon has no wings because Chinese dragon is powerful to fly without wings.
Wow. And it's kind. That's very nice. So when does the Chinese New Year start this year in 2024?
So the Chinese New Year will start February 10th this year, and February 9th will be the Chinese New Year Eve.
So it's coming up.
It's coming up. And Chinese New Year Eve is actually a very important time for our Chinese New Year celebration too.
So how do you prepare for the celebration?
So the celebration, I think, if you're asking me, when I grew up as a child, my family started preparing like 10 days before.
10 days before?
Yeah, because back then when I was young, we would host what we call the Chinese New Year Eve banquet at home. And that means you would invite every family members, like all your cousins and all your close friends. And I always remembered that we had like 30 people coming. So my dad had to do all the shopping, all the cooking, all the food preparation. So it was a long process. And also the business people would be really happy around that time because that's also the time of the year.
Was it always in your home?
It's always in home. But
Always.
nowadays, people actually would go to restaurant and book the table. So,
But you probably remember it as like a home
Yes.
Event and,
Yes.
and a lot of preparations and very like warm and
warm and
loving.
yes, but I was always the one wash all the dishes. So that part, I did not miss that part.
So what are the most significant traditions of Chinese New Year?
Yeah, there are many, many beautiful traditions, and we can talk about a couple of the highlights.
Yes, absolutely.
One of them would be like what you have seen behind us, all this beautiful writing. We call them 对联. So this is from the story that when the hero, goddess, come from heaven, and he distributed those red ribbons with special writing to scare Nian away. And as time went by, actually we write them on paper and they have special meaning. So on the top, we call that 横幅. So it's usually 4 characters. And this one says, lucky star shining up from high. And then on the left, it says, lucky star shining from high to bless health and safety. And this one says 5 blessings arriving to your door to promise prosperity and harmony.
Wow, that's very beautiful.
Yes. And if you want to know, we have also another very important character that we would write on the red paper and we'll glue it on the entrance door. Would you like to see how it goes?
Absolutely.
Sure. So I brought some special paper, and you can see this paper has special image already printed out, and of course it's red and golden, and there's 2 fish, and fish in Chinese New Year represents abundance. So we always eat fish for our New Year. And I have a special box with Chinese calligraphic tools, you can see.
So can you tell us a little bit what's inside?
So those are special brushes. Depends on how big you want your character or stroke look like, you can choose. And this is a special ink that we use. So you dip a little bit of water and you rub against the special stone. Can you see the ink comes down?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is very special and
Yeah.
unique.
This is traditionally how we do calligraphic. And the beautiful carving in the flower.
Yes. Did you bring it from China?
I ordered online,
You ordered
but
online.
it's made in China. Okay, so now let's see. And those are special tools for you to make sure your paper is flat and straight. Okay. And this little tool looks like the shape of mountain. It's actually how we write in Chinese mountain, shen. It's your brush holder or brush rest.
So when do you start learning calligraphy in
At
China?
school.
At school?
Yeah.
Like elementary school? Or?
You can even start a little bit younger. I think as like from 5, 6 years old.
Do you teach your kids here calligraphy?
I'm
Is it too hard?
planning to.
You are?
They're just arriving to that age that they can hold the brush
Right.
in a proper way, because it's different than how you would hold a pen or pencil.
Oh, really?
Right, I'll show you.
That is very special.
So you hold
I'm
like
very
this.
excited. Mm-hmm.
And you dip the water. And the character I'm going to show you is called blessing. And you see it everywhere in China, or people who celebrate Chinese New Year. If you see their posters, that's how it goes.
So you can see, but it's looking really, really nice.
Yeah.
So how long do the kids get the education in calligraphy for? Is it like for the whole?
You can
The
do
whole-
as long as you would like to. It's a very, not just very good for you to learn Chinese characters, but we believe calligraphic actually, it's like martial arts. It's actually train your spirit.
Really?
Because when you're writing, we say you bring the energy and your movements all together in harmony. So it's kind of like meditation.
It's
actually.
very mindful,
it's
right?
Very
it's
mindful.
Very calming.
Yeah.
It's kind of like painting, right?
Yeah, it's like painting, exactly.
That looks to me like you've been practicing a lot.
I actually haven't.
You haven't?
Since I moved here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Okay.
That is beautiful.
Should we show everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is one character. And that's called blessing, Fu.
Blessing, and that's what you can see in a lot of different places.
In the entrance, when you go to every Chinese family's entrance will have
Is it
Fu.
all year long or just for New Year?
But it's you put it on the door on the New Year, but you leave it for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah. So there's something special about this character I want to show you.
Yes.
So this character, as you can see, has one. Here, can I just.
Yeah, do you want me to hold it for you?
Here, let me just take this out so we can hold it better. You can hold it, and I can talk. So now you can see this character. This part means clothing. And this is number 1 in Chinese. That's how you write 1. And you see this rectangular means mouth. And the one underneath mouth means farming field. So when you have clothing to wear, when you have a piece of land that can grow food for each mouth of your family, that's a blessing.
That is so special.
So that's called
Oh my
Fu.
gosh, thank you for educating us.
And something special about this character is, so for the entrance, for the main entrance, you put your character like this. But for other doors or on window, you can put upside down. Because when people look at your character blessing, people will say, oh, your blessing is upside down. But upside down in Chinese also sounds like arriving. So everyone comes to your door or your window, say, your blessing is upside down, but it sounds like your blessing is arriving. That's why people put it upside down. So if you say it upside down, they did not make a mistake.
Fine. It's fine. It's not.
It's how they do it.
That's awesome. Could you please tell us a little bit what you, what is like traditional food? What you eat for Chinese New Year?
So I brought some snack, as you can see. These are like one of our favorite things as a child is when you go to friends, people's house, they always have candy. So this is like a peanut butter coated with a crispy flour, and this is also like crispy cracker, but we call the ears.
It looks
cat's
so
ear.
pretty.
Yeah. And this one is my favorite. This is so inside it's green bean pastry, but outside it's like custard cake.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so green bean, we eat lots of green bean. And this is we call salmon layer cake.
So do you remember when you were a kid, did your mom used to make it or you just buy it?
We just buy them.
You just buy them?
Yeah. But today I want to show you something you probably already have heard or even have eaten many times, Chinese dumplings.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So let's make some dumplings.
I would love to see that, and I'll be a great helper.
Yeah. So in the south, in the northern part of China, dumplings usually made by the whole family from scratch, and they actually ate at midnight
At midnight?
and New Year Eve.
Wow.
Because
so you wait for like the whole day for dumplings?
Yeah, we call that waiting for the New Year. So you wait.
Do you have to be fasting the whole day, or can you eat?
You
don't
can
have
eat.
to. Okay.
We don't. You don't.
Okay.
The worst time to fast is New Year time. Too many good food. So here we go. So it's actually not very hard to make dumplings at home if you have flours. You can just use normal flour with water and some yeast and let it rise like 20 minutes. So this is
So
our
do you make
flour.
it the day of New Year, or is it before New Year?
New Year Eve.
The New Year Eve.
Yeah,
okay.
after dinner, people actually start making dumplings and then cook.
Because they have to be fresh, right?
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
to be like
They cook.
right from the water.
And they eat at midnight. when the new year come.
Right.
And there are many different kind of fillings that we like to use, and this is a classic filling with chicken, pork, and Chinese flat leaf. You can smell it.
I smell it.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah. And the tools are those two sticks, and you can see they're different than the Western kind of pastry rolling stick, especially this one. You can see it's narrow on both ends and it's thick in the middle.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'll show you how to use it. This one's for you.
Thank you.
So let's knead the dough a little bit.
We need to do the show on the whole show, just on how to make dumplings.
Just how to make dumplings, or all the Chinese pastries. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
something I really miss. So you can just have one.
It's kind of like making pierogies, like it's right.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same.
Yeah. Okay, and you can press down like that. And if it's a little bit sticky, we just need to add a little bit more flour there.
In my house here, I try to bring some Polish tradition, so we try to make pierogies before Christmas, and we have like the whole family, and we make pierogies. We have pierogi party, we call it, which is really fun.
Yeah. Okay, so you make sure both sides has some flour, dry flour.
Mine is already sticking a little bit.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It's sticking. Yep.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
So the way you roll it is you actually roll and turn. Roll and turn. Roll
That's
and
also
turn.
very relaxing.
Roll and turn.
Right?
Yeah. Roll and turn. So, you know, people who are really fast and efficient, they just keep doing like this. That's how they do it. You can take your time.
Not me.
It's fine. Beautiful.
How big is it supposed to be?
Um,
And how thin?
So you can tell the reason that we use the special motion and the special turning is because, can you see mine?
Yes.
The edges are really thin,
Thin,
but the middle is thick, because that's where the meat will go. You want to hold it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not too much. The dough feels very soft.
Yeah. Okay. I
Okay,
forgot
you
to
go
bring
ahead.
a spoon.
Oh, we don't have spoon.
I'm just gonna use the rolling pin.
Okay.
So you can just do like this. Do you want to try to get it?
Yeah, I would try. Mine is not as beautiful as yours.
No, it's good enough for the first time. So, yeah, you can cheat a little bit. You can stretch with your hand. It's
That's how we make pierogi. We just stretch it.
Yeah, stretch it and put a little bit. Okay. And there are different ways to close them. I'll show you. For most people, they will use their thumb and the second finger and just pinch.
Oh, that's so pretty.
This
is pretty bad.
And for yours, you can do a folding style. So you can fold it.
Well, I like it better now.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what does this remind you of?
Flour?
So
shell?
for Chinese people in the Asian time, this is how gold look like. So for rich family or for the royal family, this is one goat. That's the goat money we call it.
That's a goat.
So that's the gold money.
Right.
So that's also why in New Year we like to make this shape, because it represents fortune, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. So many symbols.
Yes, and there are different ways to roll it.
And it smells so good. Oh my goodness. So what is the lucky color?
The lucky color, as you can see, is red and also golden.
Gold.
And gold and red are royal, like royal family colors. When you go visit the Forbidden City and all the palace, summer palace, you see lots of golden.
And how about the envelopes? What is the envelope that you give kids money, right?
Yes, that's my children's favorite part of the New Year, because they receive, we call hongbao, the red envelope. So the red envelope, inside you have cash. You actually put a cash inside. And my father always gave me on New Year Eve underneath my pillow. So when I woke up, my lucky red envelope money is there. So that's, and you receive it. The rule is as long as you haven't have a job, you could always get lucky red envelope.
Oh, then
money.
once you get a job, it's the
Then
tradition is over
stop.
for you.
Yes, once you start a job, you.
How do you say Happy New Year in Chinese?
So Happy New Year's 新年, that's New Year. 快乐 happy. So we say happy in the end. 新年
新年
快乐.
快乐.
Because this year is dragon year, so we can say 龙年. 龙年 means dragon new year. 龙年大吉, big good luck with dragon year.
So I want you to say Happy New Year to everybody in Chinese, the whole sentence.
祝大家新年快乐.
Happy New Year, wishing you a year of prosperity and strength in the year of the dragon. Lots of happiness, love, and harmony. And if you decide to go and watch the dragon parade, don't forget cameras, don't forget to dress warm. Happy New Year. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your beautiful stories and traditions. And it was so wonderful to have you in our studio. Thank you so much. 谢谢. And see you in 2 weeks. Aggie Cersosimo. Thank you for watching us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.